Let's start with a small prayer. Gently close your eyes. Wherever you're sitting, just relax your hands, shoulders. Relax your glutes down to the ground, the legs, the feet. And observe the tiny little breath that is hitting the small space between your nose and upper lip. The breath that comes out hits the upper lip space. And while you inhale, feel the exertion of air pressure in that tiny little space. Slowly, making this breath even more deeper, slower and longer. Consciously giving the charge to your prefrontal cortex. We're going to chant 3 Omkaras, deactivating the limbic system, the emotional brain. Inhale slowly. Om. 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 Listen to the Dhyana shloka. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsajanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Mukhaṁ karoti vācālam Pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Paramanandamamadhavam Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam yena characharam Tatpadam darshitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Simple palming. You can gently open your eyes. Before moving into the next shloka, the 10th shloka of 3rd chapter, 3.10. A small recap about this concept of yajna that Krishna had introduced in the previous episode, in the previous class. So yajna literally means sacrifice. But understand, sacrifice is not that sacrifice that the West understands as a concept. Sacrifice or yajna, the literal meaning being the Vedic ritual, where there is something that we put into the fire as an oblation, and with all the mantras and the methodology, it is believed that it moves to the cosmos, to the devatas, to the deities, and whatever fruit is being blessed, it's blessed not only to the person who does the sacrifice, the yajamana, but also to the entire community, the entire world. Hence, you see in India, there are yajnas for peace, world peace. Like we do Sarve Bhavantu, simply like that. So, yajna, the literal meaning being fire ritual of the Vedic methodology. But if you go deeper, every concept has an esoteric meaning inside. Even it is the same. Veda is completely symbolic in nature. Every deity that the Vedas mention is again symbolic in nature. Like goddess Saraswati. You see her as beautiful, white robed, goddess on a lotus. But Vedas symbols the inspiration that we get by looking at people, reading something, that inspiration is portrayed as goddess Saraswati. So everything is linked with the humanistic approach. Similarly, yajna here is the actions that we do in our life. It is not fire ritual. It is the fire ritual because how do you make a normal layman understand that I have to do actions without any self-interest involved in it? But when I say, okay, have this piece of log of wood in your hand, chant the mantra behind me, and then oblate it inside the fire altar saying, this is not mine. Idam na mama. This is not mine. So when you continue, give that mechanism, slowly, people get things ingrained in their head and understand all of the actions that I do in my life can be done without selfish interests. This is called yajna. Now, why should it be done? We have already discussed in the previous, but Krishna talks about immensely in the following verses too. One of which is 3.10. I wanted to just clarify the term yajna because Nico is back. So we should not be backed behind. So I just wanted to reiterate. So we're going to recite 3.10. Saha yajñāः prajā shrishtvā Saha yajñāः prajā shrishtvā Purovacha prajāpatihi Purovacha prajāpatihi Anena prasavishyadhvam Anena prasavishyadhvam Eshavostvishta-kamadhuk Eshavostvishta-kamadhuk Saha yajñāः prajā shrishtvā Purovacha prajāpatihi. Prajapati. So here we have the word Prajapati. Prajapati is Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe. So we have these deities, Lord Brahma, the creator, Lord Vishnu, the protector, Lord Rudra, the destroyer. Okay, we need cells that also do the anabolism and also the catabolic activities. Yeah. Some destructive forces are definitely welcomed. We need lymphocytes, macrophages to WBCs to destroy unwanted germs, unwanted bacteria also. So every single thing, creation, protection, and destruction, is a wanted phenomenon in this universe. Okay. So Lord Brahma here is Prajapati. What did he do? Saha yajna prajasishtva. When he created human beings, he ingrained, as if there is a stamp. He stamped in every soul what? That you're sinful. No. He stamped every human soul with this yajna, with this righteous actions without any selfish interests. We are born with it. That's why when we do something good, serve, or when we find ourselves more contributive in nature, how do we feel? Peaceful. Like you go to an orphanage. Yes, Lucha. Do something of some sort. How do you feel? Very peaceful. Because we are born with it. And hence, Krishna here says, Saha yajna prajashishtva purovacha Prajapati. Prajapati ingrained this yajna concept in every human soul and said, what did he say? A second line. Anena prasavishyadvam keshavo astu ishtakamaduka. Let this yajna bring in flourished prosperity in you. See, it's a pun. When you don't want anything and do actions, all things will come to you. When you don't want anything and do actions, Brahma says all things that your noble wants will come to you. Why? Because Lord takes care of it. This does not mean that you are a doctor, you have to work or free of cost, you are a teacher, you have to work for free of cost. No. You are a destined doctor, you're destined to be a teacher, you do your job, but not the salary or the fee as the prior concept, as the priority behind your action. The engine behind your actions should be service. Not should be service, is service because you are ingrained with it. Okay, when we do good things, you feel good. Sometimes when we do good things and they are not accepted by people, we feel bad, is it not? That I was giving my 100%. What is this 100% that we are giving? Because we are not prioritizing our selfish interest, but prioritizing the person's interest, the person's welfare, and feel bad because he's not taking my suggestion. Now suddenly, why feeling bad has come? Because selfish interest has come. That I told and he didn't listen. So the problem arises when selfish interest comes as an intervening factor. We'll look into the meaning fully. Anena prashavishyadvam. You will be flourished with this yajna itself. How? Yesha vo astu ishtakamadak. This yajna will serve as Kamadhenu. What is Kamadhenu? Kamadhenu is again a symbol, a divine cow that milked everything. It's a divine cow you find in all Indic scriptures right from Bhagavata Purana, with even in many other Puranas, Vishnu Purana, you will find this Kamadhenu, the divine mother cow, who milks prosperity. So if you go near Kamadhenu and wish for something, oh, Lourdes Kamadhenu, please provide me peace in life. You will have peace. Please provide me some money. You will have money. Please provide some job opportunity for my daughter. The daughter gets the job. Unemployment is uprooted. So, divine cow gives whatever, fulfills whatever wish that you do, is Kamadhenu. In the stories, sage Vashishta had this Kamadhenu. And it was not only his possession, the other sages, with their tapasya, with their penance and devotion, also had the role of taking care of Kamadhenu. They had in their ashramas on a rotational basis. Now do you see the significance? Why rishis, sages, who doesn't need any prosperity, had Kamadhenu? So this is the relevance that I wanted to draw a parallel upon. Where you don't need anything, you will get everything. Yeah, somebody arrives, some king arrives with all his army to sage Vashishta's ashram, and then feels tired about the travel, asking for some water. But sage Vashishta is able to give great feast to that army. And then the king was surprised. How is that a hermit in an ashram provides so much of food, so luxurious food and clothes and water, so much of different beverages? What is happening? And then sage Vashishta was very innocently provides all the information. This is my Kamadhenu. With my tapasya and devotion, she is here to provide whatever you want, because I have asked them for you people. That's the story that we find in Indic scriptures. Now, coming back to the shloka, this Kamadhenu, the mother cow, which provides anything and everything for you, is nothing but the yajna that is being stamped inside your soul, ingrained in your soul by the Creator. And he proclaims this. If it is a proclamation of a deity, will it not be Satya? Will it not be truth? This is the truth that he gives as a guarantee that when you work in accordance with yajna, which is karma yoga, we are dealing with karma yoga, is it not? When you act according to the yajna, the swadharma that is ingrained in you, your needs, not only your needs, my dear, I have to be very careful, not only your needs, all of the people who surrounds you as a family, as a community, their needs are taken care of, because it is Lord's problem. It is divine consciousness problem to take care of it. It's not your headache anymore. Regarding this yajna, we have to have furthermore understanding. The whole cosmos is one. I'm not saying this as a mere statement. But if you look into the details, if you have that aptitude, if you are alert enough, then you will understand that how the entire cosmos is being threaded into one particular, it's like beads in one thread. They are beaded together. There is connection. The great science, physical science, talked about this as chaos theory. A flutter in the butterfly, in somewhere, some forests of Miami can create an earthquake in Thailand. Even science understands this principle, that whole cosmos, not only the earth, but also the cosmos. You think you're picking that thick blade of grass from the earth, you're uprooting it, but this cannot happen without that pinching pain to the stars. Can you believe? A small bird flies from one continent to another, unknowingly carries those seeds of herbs on her little feet and continue spreading that yajna, making people alive with those herbal grasses all over where she had traveled from one continent to another. She is unknowingly in Swadharma, unknowingly doing Swadharma, unknowingly in Yajna. Every entity, not only humans. Here, Praja, the word Praja, humans he had told, but every being is like that. If you kill an earthworm, you are doing great harm to the fertility of the soil, fertility of the earth. Because that little small earthworm does the toiling of the soil, brings in so much of fertility to the soil. So if you consider that way, every soul, every jiva is unknowingly the doing yajna. Why? Because Yajnapati is inside. Yajna Purusha is inside. Vishnu is there. Who is Vishnu? Vyapta, the one who is all pervading. How can you blemish the fact that the one entity does not prevail everywhere? There would be someone. That entity is Vishnu. Only when you are alert, aware that Vishnu in the small little feet of the bird is providing medicines, panacea to all the physical problems in the world through her small little feet. Ayurvedic doctors used to say, you should go and walk behind goats to find the right herb. You know, goats know better than us. If she has a stomach ache, for example, she starts to crawl the Himalayan mountains, find that particular herb, choose and eats. Charaka says this, that you have to go behind the goats to find the right herb. Isn't she doing the wonderful job of yajna? So it is not even expected. Divine does not expect anything from any entity that you have to do good actions. But he definitely makes us understand, if you go in accordance with yajna, you are peaceful. If you transgress this outlaw, then your peace is disturbed. Nothing that he comes and kills you, butchers your eyes. You know, no element of fear here. It is that you have to endure, tolerate the karmic bondage that you will be into without doing yajna. It is your karma. Hence, we have this great karma theory, which we think that it is revenge. No, it is not revengeful. It's the simple equation. If you do all your actions in terms of yajna, the karma yoga way, you will enjoy plentiful, the divine milk, a milky cow, will milk you everything, even prosperity, as a matter of fact. If you don't do, then you are in heavy bondage of karma. That's two simple equations. Long before, in the Indic tradition, we had Indic culture. in our YIC lessons, a little revamp of that syllabus now. Cow was considered to be the currency of India. We didn't have any rupee note long back. So if you have many cows, you are the richest person. So whatever charity that is being done or giving or taking back, it is through cows. And the charity is done always through Go Mithuna. Go means cow. Mithuna means two. It is always a practice that the cow and the bull is given. The cow and the bull for making it plentiful, as simple as that. But again, if you go back to the Vedic age, everything is symbolic. Cow means yajna. Bull means dharma, the righteousness. So when they go both together, it is to be understood that dharma is the provider of the cow. They are consort, is it not? Cow and the bull. So dharma is the provider and cow is the nourisher of dharma. They go hand in hand. Same coin, but two sides. Can we go a bit more about the symbols? Very interesting. It's very interesting. The cow gives us milk. What is this milk? Benefit to a larger community. So if you do selfless actions, you will not only get the benefit, but the milk, when the milk is there, the milkman does not provide milk only to one house, my dear. It's so plenty that he has to distribute to 20 houses, for his business. So how plentiful the milk can be, how plentiful the benefits of the community can be, how maximized output it can give. Now the bull. Bhagavata Purana has a beautiful metaphor here. The bull has 4 legs. Is it not? The 4 legs of dharma is dana, shaucha, satya, and daya. Sorry. Dana, daya, shaucha, and satya. Dana means charity. Daya means compassion. Shaucha, as you know, it's one of the niyamas. Yes, shaucha santosha tapasvadhyaya ishvara pranidhana. So, shaucha is purity. And satya, it is one of the yama, the truth. The 4 legs of righteousness. So if you want to describe righteousness, we can call it as truth. We can call it as pure. We can call it as compassion, which is love. We can call it as charity. So anything done in a charitable manner without selfish interest in it. So dharma, having these 4 legs, provides for yajna, the cow, and yajna milks everything. There is further more symbols if you want to understand. In a yajna, what happens? In that ritual, there is an altar. It's called a yajna vedi, where the sticks are being, smeared with clarified ghee, the white ghee. And then slowly with every mantra, the mantra is recited. They are being put into the fire altar as oblation, saying idam namama, this is not mine. And then the second samit, the second action, the second log of wood is again put into the fire altar, reciting that particular mantra. So this is how the fire ritual is done in Vedas. Vedic rituals are being proposed. And the fire altar is the field of work. For example, you're a nurse. The clinic is Yajnavedi. The actions that you do for serving, giving medicine timely to every patient there, is the sticks that you put as oblation. The sticks have to be put, the actions have to be delivered with clarified understanding. Hence, that clarified ghee is smeared with the action. The log of the wood is smeared with the ghee so that it adds fuel to the fire, is it not? So this clarified ghee is that clarified understanding that I am nurse, I am getting salary, but this action has to be done as if I am seeing Vishnu in all. That perfect understanding, that perfect aptitude. And then the fire in which we put into these logs of food with clarified ghee, with the clarified action, understanding. The fire is jnana. So when we say there are 4 schools of yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Karma Yoga. And then we say all 4 schools is able enough, is competent enough to enlighten an individual, to provide that jnana flare. This is a visual example. That fire that gets flared up is your self-realization, is jnana, the knowledge. So if you're a teacher, planting the seeds of knowledge should be your priority, not just do the job for the monthly salary. It is there, it is a byproduct. Yeah, the byproduct is always waste. For example, in the fire ritual, what do we do? Not only the fire is put up with sticks and ghee, we use cow dung cakes. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen a ritual? So if you hadn't, so I'll give you a picture cube view. That we use cow dung cakes which have been dried because that acts as a fuel. Okay. And whatever comes out in this particular thing, we use Gaumutra also, the urine of the cow. Many Ayurvedic tablets use Gaumutra. It has unique benefits of killing the germs. Even cow dung cakes does. Ghee has this anti-germ properties in it. Now, all the byproducts seems to be waste. But when it put together, what do you get? The divine ash that you smear on the head. And what is it made up of? Antimicrobial properties, giving you health, giving you satiety, contentment. Even the byproducts that we get through yajna actions, for example, salary, for example, fees, for example, commission, for example, honorarium, whichever format of the money that we get will also give satiety, will also provide you health, will also provide you a status where you will be peaceful. It's a cute metaphor that we see here. Coming back to certain questions that comes to our fickle-minded nature. I do my job, people don't take it. I do all good actions because it is always us, no? Who are righteous, who always provide good actions, When I do my job, why is that it is not accepted? And when it is not accepted, I get frustrated, exhausted, and I should not move in this direction because world is changing. I also have to move quickly with this changing world. Now, this is the new phenomenon of Gen Z, Gen Alpha. Even we are little towards this attitude. We are slowly slanting towards the changing world. So it cannot be a quick answer. It can be long, descriptive answer to such question. So bear with me. So if at all you are thinking that good actions is being delivered from me, and there is no acceptance from the community, from the other side, the first thing itself is ruled out. You are not offering any good action at all. Oh, how can you say? Because the moment you think that it is not accepted by any other, you're always having an expectation inside while delivering those actions that it should be accepted. For example, you are delivering Jnana Yoga. Huh? Like here, right now. What are we doing in Swadhyaya? It is a Jnana Yoga. It's a Yajna, is it not? It's a Yajna that we are doing. Okay. And then people tend to fall asleep. And I get super rageous about it. Okay. How can you sleep? You should have switched off the video at least or left the meeting. This is so indecent. What does this mean? I haven't delivered the lecture with the notion that delivering a lecture is my sadharma. But I had this ownership problem that I am the speaker. I am delivering the gem of the gem knowledge to people. And why don't people accept it? Why are they sleeping in my session? You know? So the first point itself is wrong, that you have delivered a righteous action. If you have that expectation, hence you will be frustrated, exhausted, that people don't listen to me, people don't acclaim, people don't acknowledge, and it cannot be yajna. On the other hand, you are delivering a lecture in a hub where there are old-aged, challenged, physically challenged people who are brought from the streets, and then they are being rescued in a small ashram like that, and you are supposed to give a lecture there. Will you be offended if someone sleeps there? You will not. They had to sleep because they are physically not capable enough. But you will not be offended there, which means you have secluded two actions. One, charitable actions. Two, professional action, personal action in your mind. But Krishna says, why do you have to do it? You are ingrained. Saha yajna praja shishtva. You have been stamped with that yajna while you are born. So don't have two columns in your head. No, this is charitable actions. This is personal action. This will be with selfish benefits. This will be selfless benefits. No, all actions can be selfless. Doing the action is the only credible thing that you can feel peaceful about. On the other hand, you are doing the most sacred activity. What is the most sacred activity? Meditation. Okay. And you are in Chinmudra, closing your eyes, relaxing your back, slowly inhaling, thinking that all my allergens in the lungs should be dissolved. There, gone. So we have completely become complex. This is a simple thing, but we have complicated so much. Even the sacred activities have to be done in such a manner that it is for the growth of people. Hence, every yoga session, even though you had all these thoughts on my asthma has to be gone, my blood pressure has to come down, I should reduce few inches from my waist. All these thoughts being noble during the yoga session, at the end says, let these be given to all. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Not for me, but for everyone. When you do that, then the yoga sadhana becomes yoga sadhana. Otherwise, it becomes beer yoga, goat yoga for self massage. So every action, even the sacred action, personal action, suppose you are providing money to your son, to your daughter for their upkeep or for some help for their education or for some help. Okay. So when you do that, the moment 3 months later, there is some kind of sign that they show that of disrespect. What happens? See how much money I had given. There should be some decency that he talks to me, she talks to me properly. This comes in, is it not? What will you do with the money? If you hadn't given to your daughter or the son, what will you do with the money? Eventually, while hearing the news that he needs money or she needs money, eventually you would be going to give it. But this didn't occur while you were giving, while you were offering. This occurred only when you got insulted. See, when that notion of me being the mother, I own that role, the trouble comes. Hence, Krishna says, why these complications? Why do you complicate your mind? Eventually, you're going to give money. You have given money. That's it. We have this beautiful proverb in Hindi, Neki kar darya mein dal. Do good things, put it into the water. Let it sink. You don't even see it. So you have given the money, that's it. Chapter over. The act of disgrace that or the act of insult that he or she did to you, it is their karma, is it not? While responding to it, what have we done? We have bounded ourselves. I remember my mother-in-law saying, she is very strong Jainism follower, and she has so much of knowledge and wisdom about this karma philosophy according to Jainism. So she says, according to the Jainistic approach, the most hatred that we created with an enemy in one life, that enemy becomes your son, becomes your daughter, becomes your mom. Because the love, that clinging with the love is not so strong, but hatred is stronger than the love. Hence, we keep them closer. The souls are closer all the time. This does not mean kick away your daughter and son from the house, no. This definitely means that practice love with this detachment. If you start hating, then you are into a cyclic coil of attracting all hateful personalities to your family, to your close-knit family. So now, being a human, because you had been a squirrel, perhaps another squirrel had something wrong done to you, at that life you wouldn't had Gita lessons or no karma business at that point of time. At least we are human now. At least we are having the blessed opportunities of learning this karmic lessons through Lord Krishna. Now we know, then we can practice. So all actions delivered personally, even in the family, practice with this detachment. Let the action spring from you, thinking that Vishnu is doing, just like that little bird under her feet. Huh? The seeds of herbs is been traveling from her feet to different places where she travels. Did she think about it? That I'm going to save a person's life with this herbal seed? No. So the bird is unaware, but we have awareness, we have buddhi. So whatever actions that can be delivered, even in the personal life, can be delivered with that priority that let his life be peaceful. I am giving money to keep him peaceful. Or even better, a sense of agencyship. That's what Krishna will speak in the later verses. That let divine work through me. I'm happy that I am at least having some money because of divine's help, that I am able to provide him at this juncture of need. That I'm equipped enough. I'm grateful for that. That sense of agency, sense of being a channel to do that work. You know, professionally, the question arises, okay, this is my daughter, this is my son, I will eventually do the right thing for them. But what about the nagging boss? You know, I don't have to listen to him. I can switch the job. In profession, you need more spiritual awareness. Because you see people switching from one job to another, they're always with their selfish benefits. You see those people? Hence, Gen Z and Gen Alpha doesn't stay in one concern. And then if they stay, they get the employee award. Because at least they are able to stably put in one particular position, you know. That's about the funny things apart. Stably put, I'm not in the favor of stably put in one job or switching is wrong. No. But the intention behind the switch of the job has to be very, very much understood. If this intention is just monetary benefit and you can kick the person from your mind, even though understanding that your leaving shall lead to losses for the concern, and you are irreplaceable if at all there is a situation like that, because you had owned that place with your experience, is it not? You had owned that place with your experience. And if somebody else is going to hold the position, and eventually the concern is going to meet some losses, it cannot be yajna. If done for selfish intentions, if done for just monetary benefits. But if you really feel I have escalated myself, I don't fit in the place, I can do a better job, I can handle more responsibilities, thereby bringing a communal development, their switching job is yajna. Switching job is one single example, but in a professional atmosphere, any action that you do, any action as the role wants you to do, has to be performed in a manner that it has to amount to progress institutionally. I used to speak, progress is never vertical, progress is always horizontal. So if such actions are delivered, you will be more peaceful. Otherwise, what happens? What is Gen Z, Gen Alpha suffering from? Rigidity. Because of this mental rigidity. They have more cases of cervical spondylosis, lumbar spondylosis. Believe me, I own a RBT clinic myself. I am getting patients of 25 to 35-year-old more than 60 plus. Why? Not if they think sedentary job doing on the laptop. Even I said I am doing more laptop work than you people. I am sitting more than you people. But that rigidity, musculoskeletal rigidity, is because of this mental rigidity. Too much focus, narrow mindedness, too much self intrinsic benefits oriented. So that is the descriptive answer that I could give for all those questions of why not change with the world. No? We will be facing more verses on yajna and how it is going to be more therapeutic in nature, more progressive in nature. Even professional advancements and prosperity can be acquired just by doing selfless actions, seeing the divine in all, seeing the divine channel in us, and delivering the actions. So we'll be seeing that more. And today is for yajna concept ingrained in every soul. That is very important. Please take this away. This today's takeaway is this. This is my natural outset. By transgressing from this natural outset is something unnatural, artificial. I will pay for it. If you understand this takeaway, then it is going to be easy. I'll stop the record and we will have the further discussions.